Hello, my stitching friends. My name's TeresaLouise, and today I am going to do FlossTube number 4. That's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. Because math. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try not to do that again, but I can't promise you. Yes, I've been watching Stephanie and Pam, and it just cracks me up when she does that on Just Keep Stitching. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so boy, the last time I did a floss tube was February 2nd. I had to go back and watch it because I forgot where I left off. And I didn't want to, repeat myself too much. So, yeah, I haven't been feeling very good. And, when you don't feel so good, leastwise me, I don't really feel like filming. So, if you're new to my channel, whether it's on FlossTube or my quilting, I have fibromyalgia among other medical conditions, and I just have been in a flare-up. And when I get in a flare-up, I, lay around a lot, sleep a lot, and I also have brain fog worse than normal. So if you see me stopping and stuttering or, looking for words, it's because of the brain fog thing. I'm sure the getting older part doesn't help either, but so just be kind down there in the comments. I'm not doing it on purpose, believe me. Anyway, I'm starting to come out of that. Had a little bit of a episode yesterday, but I think I'm back out of it. So what happens sometimes, even like when I go to town, especially because it's such a long ways away, I really get stoked up. It's like when we go to town, we left like at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't get home until 6 p.m. And the drive is, an hour and a half one way, and the road is really windy, and so all that movement, especially if I'm not driving, the next day I just feel like I've been beat up with a baseball bat. So, yeah, it's fun. And then, of course, I fell down again a couple of weeks ago. So I think that's 4 times now in the last 6 months. The first 2 times was because of the ice. And a couple of weeks ago, I was outside. We have kind of a little ditch along our property, and I was walking along, and I was going to, step over that ditch. And these darn glasses, when you have those progressive lens, so it's kind of like a bifocal down here, and you're looking down and it's not right. And so I just misstepped, and I went straight down on both knees in my hands like that. Luckily, the ground where I went down was really soggy, and so there was a lot of cushion. So I didn't think I really hurt myself, and then my left foot went like 10 minutes later after I fell down. I was walking along backwards, and my foot went right in a gopher hole. I am so lucky that it didn't break, because the hole was probably that big around. And I just happened, I was stepping backwards, took a step back, and my foot was up like this, just to take the step, right? So when I stepped down, my foot was already like that, and I just went right through that hole. And it must have gone in like, that far. I didn't think I was going to be able to get my foot out of there. Anyway, you just got to laugh at yourself. I mean, I'm just really glad it didn't break. And so it's things like that, you don't think anything happened at the time, and then the next day you're like, oh my God, what'd I do? And on the days that I do feel good, I tend to do too much, and so then because you're trying to catch up, and so then the next day or 2 or 3 or 4 sometimes, I'm just laying around in bed. Anyway, so that's why you haven't seen me in a while. Like I said, I am feeling better, and so hopefully I can start doing some more videos. I'm thinking maybe what I might do is try to do some videos, a bunch of videos on the days that I feel good, and then I'll just save them. When I'm not feeling good, then I'll just post those, right? Okay, so what else has been happening? Well, spring is supposed to be here. It was here for like a week, and then we had some snow. Luckily, it didn't stick. But I still have like 2.5 feet of snow on the side of my house where I don't get any sunshine. So luckily, I don't have to walk through that. We've taken a few trips out of town, either for doctor visits, or my husband is looking for a camper, motorhome, fifth wheel, something, because he wants to go do some fishing. I'll get to take my stitching, which is fine with me. And I like to fish too, but when I'm not, feeling like fishing, or if the wind starts blowing, I don't like the wind at all. Or if it gets too cold, then I'll just, hang out in the camper and stitch. So that's pretty much all that's been happening. I have got quite a bit of stitching done because I haven't been, I've just been laying around. So I thought, well, I might as well stitch while I'm sitting here. So, yeah, so I went back and watched the video to see where I was at. And I have gotten quite a bit done. Now, I don't have anything fully finished. They're all still just, waiting. But I do have quite a few projects stitched. So let's take a look at this first one. Now, these first few ones are going to be all the stitch cards by Laurie Holt. And this one is a little chicken. I decided to try to do this one smaller. So I made it really small. And I did 2 threads over 1. So it's pretty tight. And I think it turned out pretty good. So I had been stitching them just for comparison, big like this. But I wanted to just experiment and see how it would look if I made it smaller. And I did all of the called for on this one. So that's that one. Then I also did this one little, and this is called Flower Basket, and it's a stitch card also. And I did all the called fors on this one also. Then the next one is stitch card, Cheerful Tulips. Now this one I did big, and I think this was 2 threads over 2, so 2 over 2, and I used all the called for on this one. Quite a few done. I still got more. This one is called Spring Blossom, and this is the card, and here's the stitch. And I think I changed the yellow in this one. I didn't have the yellow. Yeah, I changed the yellow. Let me double check. It was stitched on 18 count. Oh, I forgot to tell you all the counts on those. I think they were all 18 count. Yeah, they were. Yes, I changed the yellow. The called for was 3/8/21, and I used 7/44. But the rest of them I used the called for on that. Okay, so that's that one. A couple more of these. Busy Beehive. I did this also on 18 count. And I think that turned out really nice. That's pretty. I like that border. And I think I changed the red. Yeah, I did. But I forgot to write it down. Yeah, yes, you can see how red that is. And mine is more maroon. But I think it still looks nice. I like it. Okay, the next one is the honeybee. And here that is. Turned out good. And let's see. The next one is Tending the Garden. I think I had a little bit of these last two done the last time. And I made quite a few changes on this one. Well, the can was teal and I used purple. Because purple's my favorite color. Okay. Alright, so that's all my finishes. That's quite a few. I didn't count them, but... Alright. Then the next thing was... So this is stuff, this will be my whips. Alright, from my book. And remember I was doing the blue blossoms. I can find it. I thought I had it marked, but yeah. No, that's the chart. I can't show you that. This stitch right here. And let me show you that. I got quite a bit done on it. Last time I only had like this corner done and then the border. And now, let me flatten it out a little bit here. I had it rolled up in there. And that's how much I've got done. Quite a bit, huh? Now I just need to go around and that'll be done. This one's taken me a little bit longer. And there's going to be a lot of back stitching in this, so. But I'm going to save all of that back stitching for the end. I've got quite a few numbers on, or hours in on this one. I'm doing this also on 22 count cream white, and it's Ada, and I'm using DMC 794, 162, and 312. So there's just 3. So making good progress on that one. I'm going to keep stitching on that. This is one of my new bags I made. I don't think I've shown this one yet. I was able to get this vinyl up a little higher so that book fits in there better. Let me show you. Take that stuff out. Yeah. So that's better than the other bag because the book stays in there much better. Okay. And I made this little zipper fob or pull. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that. I had a really big mess over there at my big table. Beads everywhere. Okay, so there's that one. Set it right there. The next one, no, I don't think I had this one or talked about it or anything in my last video, and it's called Prim Village by Laurie Holt, and I've gotten quite a bit done on it. Okay, so because I'm new to cross stitch, I didn't measure this right. So all those houses are not going to fit this way. So what I'm going to do is I pulled these stitches out already that I had right here. It was a straight stitch. Pulled those out. And then, because I think it's, yeah, this stitch is a little further apart in between the houses than it is on the edge. And so I'll put that back in, and then I'm just going to do 2 more of the houses here, and then I'll do another row under it with the rest of the houses, and that'll give me all of the houses on here. They'll just be arranged differently. So I think that'll look okay, and it'll give me plenty of room, you know, around the whole thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm thinking a pillow. Because that would be cute on your bed. This one, oh, I don't know where my stitch card is on this one, guys. I think this is 18 count Ada, and it's beige. And here's all the floss. A lot of floss in this one. And I'm just using all of the called fors in this. I started out stitching it with the floss that I already had on hand, and then I made a list of the ones I didn't have, and then I picked them up the next time that I went into town. So that worked out okay. So that's where I am on that one. And this is the bag. Oh, I do have the card. right here. Yep, 18 count. I have a lot of hours on that one. Before I show you the bag, let me tell you what I enjoy about this one. I know there's a lot of the same color floss, so it's pretty repetitive, but as a new stitcher, I kind of am enjoying that because it, well, I don't have to think a lot for one thing, and it's a way to practice your stitch, you know what I mean, and get used to going, you know, this way and back and then down. And so for that reason, I've really enjoyed doing this stitch, and I feel like I'm ready to start, you know, moving on to something maybe a little more difficult. So I've enjoyed this one anyway. All right, here's the bag. I think I may have showed this before. And I have the zipper pull that came with the pattern. That's really cute. All right. Yes, this is one of the bags I made. I'll put that over there. Okay, let's see what I have next. I have a new start. Well, I guess all of those are new starts to you, but I just started this one a couple of nights ago, and this is called Bless Our Home, and it is in the book. Let me find the page for you. Dang. I thought I had those marked. Okay, here it is. Sorry about the glare. There it is. So I've done just a little bit. That's right up there. Now I'm really enjoying this stitch. So this is going to be kind of like a sampler, right? And I'm doing this on 16 count Aida ivory. And I'm doing all the called for colors. I went through my stash and picked out all the colors that I had. And then there was, well, 5 or 6 that I didn't have. So I just made a list, and we went to town a couple of days ago, and so I was able to pick them all up from the quilt shop. So I'll be using all the called fors. Anyway, if you want to look at that one more time. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. All right. So that's all I have started. Here's the floss for that. Now, I am going to do some of Stitch Mania next month. But I'm not going to do a new start every day. But I think I'm going to try and do a new start every day for the first week. And I was going to do this one, Bless Our Home, in May, you know, started in May, but I really liked it, and so I started it early, but that's okay. Here's another pull that I made. So I have some cross stitch on order. I have Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut, and then there's a few patterns I'm ordering from Little House Needleworks. I didn't write all those down, but I'll be showing you as soon as I get them. And then there's some dimension kits, and I'm ordering all this through 123 Stitch. And today I'm going to go through, and because what I like about their website is you can look at what all of the floss is that goes with that. So I can look at it and then see if I have it or not and then order it. So I've got to do that today. So I think there's like 5 or 6 that I'm ordering. A lot of them are samplers, except for the ones from Dimension. The one of them from Dimension is a tiger that's laying down. Oh, it's really cool looking. All right, so some of the other ones that I'm going to do from this book, and this one is kind of like a dimension stitch, and so I picked it out. I'm going to go ahead and get it started because I want to see if I like doing that. You know, I mean, I like the look of it, but there's a lot of like half stitches in here. So it's going to be one of these where you're going to learn something, which is good, you know. And yeah, so I'm going to practice on this, and then when I get the dimension kits, we'll see how that goes. So that's one of them that I want to start in May. And then what was the other one? It's a brown bag. Bless our home. Well, I thought I had another one in here, but I guess not. Oh, yeah, this one. Time in My Garden. So those are the 3 that I want to start out of this book. And then I'll pick, you know, 4 more from the ones that I'm ordering. So, okay. That is, and I have that all kitted up, brown bagger it's called, out of that book. I have it all ready. But I don't have a bag. I need another bag. So I have another bag already cut up and ready to go. I need to quilt it. And I'm using Tulip Pink's fabric. And then I'm just using a piece of scrap. It's kind of gray with gray speckles. And then it will have the vinyl on it. But I'm going to try putting the vinyl on the back, you know, like a pocket, and then have the zipper on the front. I'm going to try that. See if I like that better. All right. I have a cheat sheet down here, so I keep looking. What is next? Okay, so I have been getting thread, but I've put it all away. So, but I'll just show you how much thread my little container is getting. Okay, so let's talk about thread for a second. I don't care for storing it like this. What I don't like is when you need to pull the thread for a project and it's like you got to look at each one, you know. And some of the numbers on these are so small, I have to put my other glasses on. So I'm trying to think of a way to make this better. I'm thinking about getting those little plastic bags, floss bags, and then writing the number on it really big, and then putting them in like a file, and then I can just, go to that number. I know some people like Stitch Roadies, Anna. She separates hers by, 100s, 200s, 300s, 400s, that kind of thing. That might help. So I thought about doing that too. I don't know. I gotta help me. I've decided that I don't like the bobbin thing. I don't mind doing it. Like if there's just a little bit of thread left, to go ahead and wind it on a bobbin, I think that's great. But when you get a whole bunch on there, like this, and you're using it quite a bit, these things don't last long at all. Of course, they are just cardboard, but and they're cheap, so there's that. And I could make my own. And then these plastic ones, that's great. They'll last, but there's no place to, tuck your, what do? Tuck it in, maybe. It's pretty, I don't know. And these are too tall to stand up in there. So you have to turn them a different way. So I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. I like to be, a little bit organized. I don't want to, overdo it or anything, but there's just got to be an easier way. So I picked up the more floss, and then I also picked up more fabric. And I don't think there's a lot of people that do cross stitch in my area, because neither one of the quilt stores carries very much. But when I went in on Thursday, the owner was there at Hometown Quilting in Grangeville. And so I talked to Jody, and she told me, just to let her know what, if there were patterns or anything that she could keep on, order and keep in the store, that she'd be happy to do that. So she gave me some websites to go look at, and then gave me her email address. And so I'm going to send her a list. And then also I'm going to ask her to carry more, fabric, because every time I go in there, I buy it, and she's about out. So Jody, if you're watching this, I forgot to tell you, I took the last of the 16 count. Hopefully she went back there and did inventory after I left. Anyway, if you ever get a chance to come to Grangeville, Idaho, you better stop in and see her. She's got a nice little quilt shop, and I'm thinking one of these days I might do a quilt shop video. So I need to ask her about that. Okay, I think that's it. So yeah, are you guys excited about Stitch Mania coming up in May? I don't want to get too many going. I don't mind having some whips, but I want to have some finishes too. And if I'm just whipping all the time, I'm never going to finish. So, all right. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you stopping in. And so until next time, why don't you go stitch something and make a video. Let me know where it is so I can watch it. Bye for now.